Thinking of water as a sacred being, a relative, demythologizes the narrative I was brought up with. What is that narrative? That water is a resource meant to be used. Water is a tool meant to be used. That's the narrative I was brought up with. But to think of water as a living being, as a relative to be honored, caused me to wonder, what does that look like? What does it look like to treat water as a sacred, living being? What does it look like to consider the water to be a relative, to be honored, respected, listened to, and treasured? And what would I do different, and how would I be different if I thought of water like my mother or my grandmother or my aunts, uncles, or my sisters, who are all wonderful sources of wisdom, sources of hope, sources of healing? How would we be different if every time we drove through a mud puddle or got rained on or drank a glass of water or took a shower, we recognized the holiness of the moment, the sacredness of water flowing? What if we were grateful and looked at water as a gift? How would we be different if every time we opened a plastic bottle or looked at the river or boated or floated on a lake or paddled around in the ocean, we were mindful that not only is the water precious, sacred, and living, but it is the source that God uses to create new things? How would we be different if we reminded ourselves and one another that the water which flows through our bodies also flows through this earth and through the skies and through the bodies of our neighbors as well? Thinking this way might be one of those new things which God is creating. Do you not perceive it? If we were to intentionally honor the water, we would be decolonizing our thinking. No longer would we be thinking of water as a commodity. No longer would we think of water as a resource to be used, to be extracted and used. No longer would we think of water as something we bottle and buy and sell. Instead, we would begin thinking of water as a sacred and holy gift, a life-giving gift which flows freely and generously through this world.